All right, folks, we are audio live and just messing around as we get all of the bits and pieces that aren't in place in place. Great. A little hype. Without giving too much away, welcome to the technical shakedown test of Tonight We Race. We start with our intrepid adventurers, currently sitting on Lime Rock for the last 5 minutes of their practice session if they are forced to qualify. Good evening, everyone. We are not running with correct lighting. We are not running with correct content. We have not even put sound dampening on any of the walls. This is our first stream integration test to see any of this crap works together at all. Looks like the qualifier is happening right on time. Gentlemen, good luck. We're going to follow Alan around, or Duffy around rather, whom I believe has the most experience with this group on Lime Rock, and probably doesn't mind too terribly much us talking about him directly. Duffy, can you verify for me that your sound's coming through? Alright, so we're gonna bump up all the pod mics and we're gonna turn down their engine sounds, I think is what's gonna happen there. Yeah, that's what I thought, Grimms. I didn't see it come through. They're all in theory running the exact same OBS configs over teleport to bring us the content, but it's not declaratively set up. Oh no, this is that show. This is the show where the audience gets to tell us everything that's broken. 3 minutes left on the qualifying clock for our inaugural race, the cold open race. How about now? Too much? A little better? How's that? It's a lot of engines. Mental note, 35 decibels for the pods. Let's see if we can do fast pod navigation. Pod 4 just went through the chicane. Pod 1's going through the chicane. Let's get... How you doing there, Alan?
So far being the operative word here.
Pod 6 is jerks. Notably, this is Pete's first time in a race car, first time in a manual transmission, first time on Lime Rock, and indeed he hasn't been in this room until about 30 minutes ago. I think you should take your driver's license test after this. It's a 4-speed manual, you can't go wrong. What's the sitch? 134, 117. Duffy with a 108. My goodness. So that was our qualifier lap, or rather set of qualifier laps for the cold open race. And now, I believe everybody is forced to pit in so the race can start. Man, I love that chicane. Nice, Pete. So once everybody has pit in for their qualifier, we will begin the actual cold open race. This is Formula V on Lime Rock. If you are not familiar with the Formula V format, it is probably one of the most interesting and best entries into open wheel motorsport there is. It is literally the power plant from a 68 VW Beetle bolted into an aluminum space frame and put on tires to go race out into the world. 4-speed manual. Can't really break 100 miles an hour downhill, and a very safe place to race. So y'all can grid in now. Pete, I forgot to tell you this because you just got, but that's one way to do it too. There's actually a button on your steering wheel that does that. We'll talk about that next time.
Everyone's gridded.
First gear, everybody. Good luck.
Green flag.
My goodness, aggressive moves from Pod 1 right off the bat.
Car on your left. Clear.
A notoriously messy turn 1. Duffy coming through it with no traffic in either direction. Oliver with a little wiggle there in the rear, corrected it and caught it. Very nice. On the long list of things that we have not set up correctly for the trial run here is colors and liveries for each of the cars, so that it's very easy to identify when you're looking at one of our racers' cars versus when you're looking at anyone else's. So that goes on the big list of things to sort out for next time.
Go right. You got a slow car on the left. Pick up the corners. You got to slow down right. Give up that time. Car on. Clear. You're on the right.
Taking a look at the back end of the Tonight We Race infrastructure, we are currently pushing approximately 600 megabits of teleport traffic. That's looking good. Each of these racing pods is being brought to you directly in 1080p and multiplexed at the head end over network protocols, because it turns out tapping and displaying DisplayPort is an absolutely horrible thing. I don't recommend it to anyone.
You got a slow car on the left. Car's off the head.
Pete, the course goes clockwise.
Left side. Clear.
7 laps to go. You're doing great. Another good suggestion that we've received, which we have not yet implemented, is putting a 5th pod into production that can run iRacing in spectator mode, so that we can have actual useful camera angles while we go through this. And while we do have the machinery to do that, we are currently, let's say that we are working at the maximum capability of what the broadcast head end can do right now. And so we'll have to intelligently have to. Can you help him pull into reverse? He's good? All right, thank you. Don't lift for it per se, just kind of slide it up a bit. When you lift it out of the housing, that's how the ask Keels about that.
Slow car ahead. Car's off the head. Go left.
Taking a look at the lap counts here. Looks like we're 7 to go all around.
Car's off the head. Go right.
He managed to get himself out of the ditch. Approaching my favorite part of the course. There are a lot of places where good line and good defensive racing will earn you time on Lime Rock, but with the chicane on, this entire racetrack is basically about managing speed through the first part of that chicane especially in a low-powered momentum car, such as the Formula V. Any speed you carry through that is going to help you up the hill on the other side of that. And if you get bogged down in the chicane, it's going to have a huge outsize impact on the actual lap time. This is, of course, the chicaned configuration of Lime Rock. The unchicaned configuration of Lime Rock that goes around that outer right-hand sweep still has the entire uphill, but you're doing it at speed. And in anything faster than a Formula V, you are most likely going to lose the rear wheels on just past the crest. And so it's kind of an exercise in can the drivers both keep their wheels entirely straight and not have any lateral momentum transferred into the turn with them when they come in. The first time we tried the non-chicaned Lime Rock was in the Lotus 79 Formula 1 car, and that didn't go very well at all. Some nice overtaking there on Pod 1. Looks like Pete's got a buddy up there, and I believe the white and orange is one of our own.
You got a slow car on the left.
Uh-oh.
Go right.
That was Duffy. You got him. You got him. And now Duffy's the rabbit, or rather the fox on the chase here. One of the animals. Grim, since you're kind enough to be online here, is this a better way to consume racing or a worse way to consume racing than us broadcasting Forza and Discord? We might have already lost him. Looking at 3 laps to go for everybody in here. It looks like our humans, who are in indestructible cars, I might add, are all... oh dear. Well, I was just going to say we don't have damage turned on, so don't worry, the taxpayers have it. I wish we could do that. What that would definitely require is the fifth machine or fifth account sitting in spectator mode. And because of the way that iRacing does licensing of tracks and cars, so you have to have a machine, right? All right, so fixed cost. If the course and car material are part of the basic iRacing subscription, then basically you can do that for free, effectively free. If it's not part of the basic subscription, then you need to purchase content into your Spectator, or have the Spectator sitting on a commercial license, which is what these 4 pods are on, and that is not that's a we're sitting on a giant pile of money problem, not a we're trying to kick off a startup sort of a problem. So, but the third person perspective is pretty important, so we'll find a way to work that in. We have another Alienware Aurora R16 sitting over in the storage room that was going to be the hot spare backup for machine problems, but could just as easily do a turn as the Spectator broadcast machine if we figure the licensing out. What's going on here? We got Pod 4 coming in to the chicane. It's probably worth pointing out that every time they go over that bump, they feel it in their ass and we will talk about. Oh, you know what? We didn't develop the gear walkthrough for tonight's test. That's okay. That'll be a fun one for the next time. Ah, great question. Yes and no. We are operating in what is called a hosted race format right now, which can be open or can be password protected. Obviously, this is password protected. The beauty of a hosted race style event is that it does not count towards your iRacing safety rating or driver's license classes, which is really important because when you die on TV, you die in real life. So yes, we could set things up such that viewers can participate, randos can participate, league members can participate, and we have all of those things in some form factor or another planned as we move down this broadcasting journey. So, short answer, yes, people can join remotely and either watch or spectate or spot, which is fun, or even drive if they like. And we can, of course, configure all that from here. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
You cut the cord.
Which direction does the... There we go. He's fine. You're sitting on a 107 there, buddy.
They're few and far in
Okay, the race is over. Bring it on in.
All right.
Okay, the race is over. Bring it on in. Okay, the race is over. Bring it on in.
So once you've powered down your vehicles, do me a favor and hang out on the interstitial screen, and we'll pull up the results on one of the pods and talk through it real quick. Looks like I've got results on pod 4. Thank you, Oliver. All right, so the important part is that the AI has won everything. But... right? But Alan brought it in for the human team, followed by Oliver, followed by Pete, who again has never driven a race car, a manual, Lime Rock, or in this room before, and then Duffy, who I actually had as my crowd favorite for winning this one, didn't put it together. So round of applause for everyone. Congratulations.
He's trying a little too hard.
For those of you who know where the refrigerator is and wish to partake, please avail yourself of an after race drink, and let's get into let's get into the content here. Where was I? I've got a script for this. Welcome to the Shakedown broadcast of Tonight We Race, which is Seattle's secret underground racing lab. We say secret because I have no idea where I am, and if you find me, please tell my wife. Underground because I've got a whole pattern for this. We're not going to go through it. Point being, the laboratory part is important because what we want to do here is expose you to some of the aspects of simulation that you may not have convenient access to, none of which necessarily involves racing. Stick around and maybe you'll see something weird. Can we use that word anymore? Weird? I feel like it's been overloaded. I'm glancing over there at this this chair that's actually filled by Tech, who's one of our racers for tonight, and nominally would be filled by a co-host. We don't have a co-host tonight. We do some sort of campy segue to their intro, like I'm joined tonight by Conan, a man who owns more motorcycles than socks.
That's true.
Conan, does that make dressing for the track difficult, or something in the nature? And then Conan does some sort of patter that he thought up the night before, and we all have a knowing chuckle and move on with the program. But tonight is the Shakedown broadcast, so no co-host. What is a shakedown? We have assembled a whole bunch of pieces and parts, hardware, software, content, writing, lighting. Not actually so much the lighting, as you can see, we're not operating the lighting tonight. And we've assembled them in a way that we think will tell a story the way we want it to be told. This, of course, will not always be the case. Things will break, things will fail, we'll uncover bad assumptions and gross mistakes. The Racing Pod Shakedown happened on Thursday night, and we literally had 4 people banging around on a track while 3 others roamed around the room with wrenches listening for squeaks and creaks and tightening down bolts that had shaken themselves loose over the course of research and development. This is the equivalent of your pit crew riding around for a lap on your hood, asking you to slow down and turn right so they can hear the wheel bearings better. It's distracting. It's extremely distracting. We've also chosen to delay blacking out and sound damping the studio because once we're buttoned up, making large modifications to the sim pods becomes an extremely complicated and considerably more time-consuming job. Things that were once one-person job become two-person's job, that sort of thing. So bear with the residential ambiance for a bit. I believe, in fact, that you can see the kitchenette and refrigerator from Pod 4's point of view, if you really want to. So think of this as an early dress rehearsal that's going to inform us of the actual needs for the next week or so of content development. We commit to no schedule, guarantee no segment survives to production, may even get bored of this entire project 20 minutes in. If so, we're sorry. With all that out of the way, here is our lineup for tonight. And I don't think that we actually... Did we make a slide deck slide? Oh, I fit inside the box. So tonight, on Tonight We Race, we do a cold open on Lime Rock. That's the thing that you just saw. You're hearing the monologue bit of it right now, which for your benefit will be ending shortly. We're going to go through the lineup of the drivers tonight. We're going to do our feature race, which I haven't actually decided what is going to be yet, so bear with us for a couple of moments while we set this up. I think an important thing to call out here regarding the racing is when you see everybody in here race together, that's a lot of people doing manual setup to make that all work. There is actually, closed down, Jesus Christ. There is actually they're not closed until October or the end of the year. There is actually orchestration software that iRacing is developing, which should make making all of that happen from sitting up here a much easier problem, but we're not there yet. And then things 3 through 7, which we're not going to get to tonight because the actual thing that we're really worried about testing for tonight is the transition between racing and not racing and driving and not driving. So the drivers tonight, which have changed since I built the slide because that's just how things go. In Pod 1, we have, who do we have here in Pod 1 tonight? Who do we have in here in Pod tonight? Oh, it was supposed to be Tech. But
It's Duffy.
Now it's Duffy, and I have to scroll all the way to Duffy's bio intro. Here we go. Production volunteer Duffy K, doing double duty, helping out here on the head end, and also filling out a pod. I don't know why you're Margaret Thatcher tonight. I was in a mood when I put the slide together. Pod 2. Pod 2 is going to be Oliver, but it's not. Who's in Pod 2? Alan's in Pod 2. Also part of the build-out crew, some of the people who came in here and put in quite a few evenings doing everything from assembling these pods, testing them, laying down carpet, vacuuming, and all the necessary things to build out a racing lab. In Pod 3 tonight, we have Pete, who doesn't get a bio because Pete didn't know he was going to be here until a few hours ago. And we appreciate him being a good sport. And in Pod 4 tonight, we have Oliver, who has been putting in many nights helping us get this ready on a volunteer basis to make it go. In the production version of what we're doing here, there would be a green room. There is actually a green room. It's that room right over there. And the problem with the green room right now, it is filled with approximately 600 cubic feet of cardboard boxes and styrofoam. And basically, all of the things that make this possible are currently in the green room. So when we have come up with a better storage strategy and then gone out to IKEA to buy all the bits and pieces, we will have a green room for people to sit in and watch when I'm up here talking with a co-host about random stuff. In order to get our trademark properly verified by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, we actually have to talk about real motorsport once or twice, and we have to talk about esports once or twice. Because the thing about trademarks is that if you don't do all the things you say you do in the application, they don't actually give it to you. And so obviously, U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, if you were listening to this right now, this is not actually the broadcast that we are using to demonstrate that we are doing all the things that we say in the trademark application. That is the one label, broadcast one. Please advance down the Twitch scroll bar to the next one that says, please read here. Chris, mental note, do make another broadcast with that label on it so they can find it. We've got a couple other things, segments that we've got picked out here, kind of assembled in the modules. We're not going to go through all of them tonight because they're sketchily developed as hell. I do, however, have a blurb on participation that I want to call out now, which is that tonight we race as a community activity. We play as a community, we talk as a community, and we frequently source content from the community. That means we want to hear from you. And in some circumstances, we'd love to meet you and sit you down in a racing pod for a fun evening. At tonightwerace.gg, not now, because though we own the domain, we have not transferred it over from the company's old identity, which turns out is owned by Porsche, and I don't even want to go into that right now, which is a website of the internet. There are going to be some forms. The first form is a content submission form, which is how you tell us what sorts of things you want us to cover when we do segments like the news or setting up a cold open race. And we've had a lot of really fantastic ideas for what a cold open race looks like. We won't use everything or even anything you send over, but if it fits the vibe of the show and we can find a place for it, we will shove it in. We may even credit you, who can say. The second is our league application. The through line of any season of Tonight We Race is going to be the league event, something we do every week at a fixed time with fixed rules. This season it's iRacing. If you're an iRacing member in good standing and would like to participate from the comfort of your own home in your own simulation racing pod or on a couch with a controller or however you choose to consume this, we'd love to hear from you. Please fill out the application and we will get you into the weekly event. The third is our extras application, which no one in this room actually had to sign. But you may have noticed that we have these racing pods here, and every so often one or more of them is probably going to be empty because real people have real schedules. If you reside in the greater Seattle area, are over the age of 18, play well with others, can be scheduled reliably, and are willing to sign a code of conduct, a liability waiver, and a talent release, there may be some pod time for you. This is a volunteer role. You help us make the show more interesting. You get to sit in the bouncy chair for a segment or two. And for the avoidance of doubt, bouncy chair means simulation racing pod. Whatever else you were going, turn around and walk away. It's literally the end of the script for tonight because we have now done an intro race and an outro race. So now we're actually going to set something up fun for everybody to race on, and we're going to actually do that. So, y'all, what are you thinking?
They want dirt ovals.
You want dirt ovals?
Is it dirt oval time?
It's dirt oval time.
It's dirt ovals.
So almost every dirt oval car is a sequential, I think. I guess we're going to find out in real time. So we will put it back on the pod quad and sit it here for a moment while we get the pods back into racing condition. And one of the nice things about like the green room and co-host setup is that someone can actually be working on all these pods while the hosts are up here doing the work. We don't have that tonight, and that's fine. We had more time to put together pictures of Margaret Thatcher. So bear with us for a couple of minutes. Twitch chat if you've got questions. Styrofoam is seating. That's not true. And we'll be with you 1 second. All right, let's get some pods set up. So first of all, go to quit on all of them to bring them back out of their GNOME screen, I guess. I'm going to host from pod 1, so give me 2 shakes. Okay, so here's the deal with the air conditioning. There is no correct place to sit because there is no correct way to angle the louvers on the air conditioner to not light someone up.
Oh man, I love being lit up.
There's just no way to do it. I apologize in advance.
This room definitely has 4 seasons where it's fall, winter, spring, summer.
Maybe if you were co-hosting, but not.
So we're going to do a 10-5, 10-5-15. So you will be forced to live with your qualifying position for 15 entire minutes. And we are going to get rid of RV, add a car based on, those of you who are watching online are like, oh my God, they have all of the content. One of the benefits of having a commercial license of iRacing is that you have all of the content. Let's go with a 305 cubic inch dirt sprint car. That sounds like fun. And let's take it to a dirt oval, such as the Chili Bowl? Question marks? Can I, hold on, before we commit to this course of action,
Sponsored by Chili.
do I want this? Tulsa, of course we want this. All right, folks, you're committed. Yeah, that's all fine, that's all fine. Regenerate the weather. We're not going to turn on car damage, that just seems like a disaster. Can we generate any out roster for this race? No, we can't. All right, no roster. Okay, a server in AWS West is currently spinning up. Drivers, you can go ahead and get comfy in your pods. I think that we put the stream control back over on that side. I do. Once the lights are in anyway. We have real lights. Today got away from us.
4080 supers.
That's why it's so hot over here.
What's up? Oh yeah, no, they're a bit warm. Sort it out here. Is it showing up for everyone?
It is
Not
showing up.
Not showing up. Ah, there
Ah,
it
there
is.
Is this a good time to plug one password?
Yeah. So, like, the theory here is that, like, every guest driver gets a blurb where you can personally promote anything you want. Pete would like to promote one password.
No. Keep parasols.
The finest password manager known to man, with the finest engineering team ever developed, with a rock solid group of engineering managers, some of whom I've even met.
Was Kenneth watching?
Kenneth is not watching at the moment.
What do I need to do to get in there? Do I hit the?
Yeah, hit that guy. And it's just GWR twice. I feel okay saying that online because if anyone joins, that would be fucking amazing. Click join.
Hey, it's a dirt oval. As advertised.
You're in new territory. I've never seen this before. Have we determined, is it sequential or is it manual?
What is this?
Oh no, they're manuals. It turns out the cars are manual.
You didn't exit the pits straight car. You had to drive through the pits without stopping. They're showing the
Let's-
black flag. You didn't exit the pits straight outside. Clear up top.
There you go.
I feel like the chili bowl might be small.
Yes.
These are midgets. No. These are midget dirt perfect.
I think this oval's too small.
Got the black flag. You didn't exit the pits straight down.
Kick that rear end out, boys.
Do dirt oval racers have handbrakes? You need help with reverse? So all the way to the right and then back. Hold on, I got you. You got it? Yeah. Oh shit!
Oh no.
What are you doing? And why?
Can't stop the head. Go high.
So we don't have a camera set up for this right now, and we're not showing it off because they are driving a mandolin. Wear gloves while driving the mandolin. Something that you can't see right here unless you're watching one of their individual cameras very clearly is that they are all sitting on let's just say moderately expensive D-Box Generation 5 haptic actuators. All of which have been tuned down to about 50%, I believe. And so when they hit something, they feel it. Each of the four legs has about 1.5 inches of travel, and you may think like that's not a lot of travel. They can move at like 100 hertz. They can produce something like 10 Gs. Like those things really kick. And so, in addition to being a workout for their forearms,
Let it slide.
they are physically disincented from hitting things because impacting shit sucks. You know, I say they're physically disincented from hitting things, but that doesn't appear to be the case.
Well,
Duffy!
I think you need to hold down that little button, but
So, how do I get in the pits?
Is there a pit?
there is. I don't think there is pits.
There is a pit. This is the mic.
There's a pit in the sense that there's a dude over there with a flag, and he's sitting next to a stanchion, and don't hit the man.
Get an unsafe pit. Yeah, I got an unsafe pit.
How do I get in?
Why would you want to get in the pit? Your car can't take any damage.
All right, that's what you're in practice. Just keep going.
Yes, the sprint car wing on the roof also serves as a parking anchor.
You can't park there.
Oh, he recovers it. No, he didn't. No. It's very nice.
Sir. Sir. If we want to know which pods have vibration or loose things, dirt ovals reveal it.
Yeah, it's really true. Is somebody rattling? Who's rattling?
Well, Duffy's rattling, Chote's rattling. Not right now. Just wait till they actually pick the rear ends out, and then you'll hear it. Yeah.
That's not rattling so much as like 60 hertz of jumping.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just made it a tire last.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Duffy, you don't seem very busy right now. Tell us about your music project.
Windshield wiper?
No, there isn't.
No, you have to buy that. It's extra.
This is still the practice session, right?
Show you don't need to see where you're going.
It's fine, Grims.
Oh no, oh no.
We didn't advertise. We're not even technically here. We are only in the iRacing category on Twitch because we are obligated to do so by their licensing agreement. So reverse is all the way to the right and kind of let it slide up the rail a little bit, then pull back.
There you go, you found it.
I spun out so much in the last one that it really helped me recovery.
How you doing back there, Pete? You've got shit on your windshield, dude. So what do we know about these sprint cars?
Open wheel.
All right, obviously, yes,
Yes,
open
yes.
wheel.
I mean, they're usually pretty, like, back in the time that I used to go see them, they were 350 small blocks.
All right.
So,
As they sound like little vets.
yes, indeed. And when the drivers get comfortable, it's a lot of, I think our drivers are learning that right now.
Ooh, wheel to wheel.
Car stop down low.
Sir, are you aware that your left wheels are smaller than your right wheels?
As you go right, lift up just a little shoat, and then go down.
Duffy looking for the room to get this pass in, but eats the barrier. It was a valiant attempt. That was exciting. Well, I've got good news. It's all over.
Well, practice.
Not black flag. Sir, I don't think the marshals are fond of you.
All right. This is a workout. Yeah. This is a work day today, apparently.
This is actually pretty.
You are on you're on 5 Newton meter force, right? No. So
If no changes were made from Thursday, he's on 5.
so all the machines were booted fresh this morning, so they should all be on 5.
Yes, okay.
So we're not doing the gear highlight here, but for shits, each of these SimuCube wheelbases is capable of 25 Newton meters of force, which I don't want to say anything liability inducing. Needless to say, they are not currently running at 25 Newton meters of force. In fact, we have each of our systems here default to 5 Newton meters every time the machine is booted and every time the software comes up. It is our intent to let regulars on the show sign an additional waiver and specify the amount of force they would like to experience, up to a maximum of 15. Because unless you are an actual trained driver and know all of the safety things like never cross your arms, hands up, brakes on, the chance for wrist spraining is actually, it's non-zero. Like, I'll do 15, I run at 10. Like 10 is the sweet spot of cars without power steering feel heavy to drive. Going over a curb or a berm like actually is violent. But at no point are you ever really in danger of getting snapped, in my opinion. Again, everyone's different. We let people dial some force, but what's going on over there? Was that the qualifier? Everybody put in their lap. 12 seconds. It's a 12-second lapse. I'm so glad I made this a 15-minute race.
There's gonna be a lot of laps.
If anybody does not feel like they want to do 15 minutes of this, let me know. Tech is happy to sub in. Dude, there's nothing in there. You can't go in there. That's not part of the course.
Pit box is early. Be ready.
Oh, don't worry, I will. There will be a day.
The marshals do not appreciate your sass. They drift nice. Look at that.
Yeah, this is.
So I know what that is. That's actually, yeah, it's the hip on the pedal deck. Yeah, I know how to tighten that up.
Pit box in 2, 1.
You think it's the shifter?
Box in right here.
We will send someone in with a wrench after the race. Alan, if you have finished your session, you can hold the exit button. And that will give you the advantage of having both the replay and the spectate controls.
If
And
I
you
have
can,
the checkered flag, does that mean I should just be exiting this?
yeah, you should. Yeah, if you've got a qualifying time, you should just exit. Car must be stopped to be removed from the track. There we go. Everybody learned something.
I got extra practice laps.
On your 12-second.
It's gonna be.
So is there a brake lap or anything for this one?
No, I think I set it up for standing start. So have fun.
All right.
Chili bowl.
Chili bowl.
50. It's gonna be like 75 laps.
Oh. No.
At 12 seconds a lap, 15 minutes. You guys are doing about 75 laps, I think. Good luck, gentlemen.
Oh my god. Oh boy.
All right, so we have an unknown condition here. We are all sitting in wait
And we've got a 5-minute remaining.
with a 5-minute remaining time with no admin controls. This is new. Is everybody in an identical screen?
So,
What are we missing? And why are these two screens not identical? That's a separate problem. Well, that sucks. I don't think that we should. I don't think that we should force people to just sit here and wait 5 minutes until iRacing figures out what it wants to do with this qualifying session. Oh, is it because the qualifier is technically 10 minutes long,
I think it is, yes.
but nobody can spawn back into the race, right? Huh. And there are no AIs to wait for them to roll in here. Do me a favor and hit the quit button,
Everyone go to quit.
Bunch of quitters.
and then just rejoin the session.
Yes.
all right.
It'll take a moment for join to pop if you're a little aggressive. No, you guys are good.
Oh, that's the pit. It shows you the pit.
Yeah. Take it out, gentlemen. You've got 75 plus laps. That's your pit lane.
I got a black flag twice, so.
So the thing about black flagging is when you exit pit, you're going to see a series of blue indicators on the track as a race line. You must stay on
Put
those
us back in
blue
with
indicators.
the timer or whatever.
Once those blue indicators
Did it really?
in,
Yeah.
then you can merge out to the race line.
Yeah.
But if you leave those blue indicators early, you will be black flagged.
All right, so apparently we need to have 3 minutes worth of pep talk, or
There's a ready to race button.
We talk about.
oh, where's the ready to race button?
Yeah, that's.
I was hoping we could talk drift technique.
We can talk drift technique. Go talk amongst yourselves. But where's that button?
There is drift. Yes.
I mean, there is.
There is drift.
Only in
Yes.
Tokyo, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, still waiting.
Pod 2 is the.
Well, if we're waiting for one of the pods to actually hit the button, where is the button? Oh, there it is. Was there just one machine that was being derpy?
Over second gear.
It actually looks like it's going to keep them on the 2-minute timer.
All right, fine. 2 minutes of content. Let's go into the content vault of things that were not made ready.
On a track like this, you won't.
Hey, Tech,
Sir.
have a seat.
Oh.
What was your first car?
My first car?
Your first car?
1988 Saab 900 Turbo.
Another Saab Traveler.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed.
1996 Saab 9000 Turbo.
Oh my goodness.
Hatchback, 5-door.
Oh
with,
my.
with the vinyl like rear deck rubber thingy.
Did your hatchback have the louvers?
No louvers on the
Oh,
hatchback.
okay.
But did have the interior green light spaceship panel buttons with the equalizer that was made of little dots.
Indeed.
And when I took it off to college in my first week, the turbo blew while I was on an interstate. And first the power was low, and then there was, because it was like 90 horsepower without the turbo.
Indeed.
And then the smoke started coming out the back of the car, and then the smoke turned blue, and then the smoke turned white. And then it started smelling really bad in the cockpit, and I pulled over and I called my dad.
Indeed. Oil-cooled turbos. Yep.
And my understanding is that is how most Saabs eventually met their end.
Indeed. Yes. I replaced mine 4 times. I went through 4 turbos before.
4 turbos.
Yes, before I finally switched out to. They called it like a stage A, but I don't know if that was actually anything significant. But it came painted bright red, and that was the last turbo I ever put into it before the actual engine blew up.
What color was the interior?
Maroon red.
Oh, Saab.
Indeed.
Makes good jets, and that's about it. There. Did we burn through enough time that we can put racing content back on the screen? 15 seconds. Hold on. Do I have a 15-second bumper in the list?
Do we want to thank our sponsors?
So I have a list of fake sponsors in another document that I wanted to put together. They're not. The day got away from me. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gentlemen, good luck.
Remember, 12 seconds a lap.
We're looking for the first person that can crack 11.
It does look like you have a pace break, so.
Official iRacing pace truck.
Show it. Be good.
I'm not worried about Shode.
I think Duffy was the one that has gone inverted, so maybe he's the one to worry about. Ah, that's what it was. Okay. All right.
One to go. Next online.
He's not gonna stick around for a second.
No, he's racing too. He's trying to.
There we go. And we're racing.
Get him. Lots of loud noises from Duffy's pod. Lots of drifting. That's what's going on there. Duffy turns into 13. Well, that's the end of that. Who else are we going to watch? There we go. Pete in first place with a 12.07. We're going to break 11 today.
Slow car stop ahead.
11.4. That's Oliver right on the leader's butt. Also turning in 11.9.
Slow car up high. Just set your fastest lap of the session. The leader just did a 12.108.
That's an 11.7. Oliver trying to find the way inside Pete. It's going to take a tighter drift. Oh, so close. And Oliver recedes in Pete's rear view.
Slow car up high. Car stop up high.
Pete now sitting on 11.4.
Apparently it takes 45 seconds to my car.
Slow car ahead. Just off the head. Go low.
That's a great question. Duffy, you're in position 4. You're on lap 9, and the race leader is on lap 12. So you've got about 30 seconds of driving to make up. Oh, actually, Duffy, and you look in your bottom right when you're not trying to turn like an animal, it will say who you are behind and what your lap configuration is to them. So you need. I'm gonna recommend, not as a driving expert, but as someone who's played video games for a little bit, maybe slow down just a hair. As they say, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I don't know who says that. Someone says that. With violence.
Slow car down low.
Oliver now down to position 4. Where's my first and second story here? Pete still driving in first place, also with an 11.4.
Slow car ahead.
And Pete's got 2 laps on pod 2. So at the moment, this is a one-man race.
Car behind.
Those are very pretty drifts.
Slow car. Leader is coming up off the head. Okay, you're in second.
Yes.
What do you think?
Definitely something in the pedal.
I think it's the pedal though. There's I've identified the list of joints that need to be Loctited, and we're just gonna do that. Hello, Twindigo. Are you enjoying your I don't even know what to call this. The Oliver Show.
The leader is running 12 points.
Pete has extended his lead to 3 laps, but still turning in an 11.4. Who's got the best lap? I've conveniently put Alan's picture on top of the iRacing telemetry in the Pod 2 display. So, Alan, can you tell us what your best lap is?
Yeah, it's 11.96.
11.96. So it's the Pete Show.
Oh, it's actually it's not right actuator.
It's the actuator itself.
It's vibrating against the frame. If I put a bunch of pressure against the actuator to the frame, all the noise goes away.
Okay, we can fix that. Actually, if it's the actuator, Duffy, I'm going to ask you to pit in. We need to do some emergency maintenance on your pod.
Slow car down
It's from
low.
below. I'm going to check on him. Go ahead and hang on.
The leader is running 13.0. The leader consider 13.459. The car's on ahead. Fleet car ahead. The leader is coming up with you. They're not outside. The leader is leader 12.197. Low car up high. Low car ahead. Low car up high. The leader is coming up with you. They're not outside. The leader is coming up with you. They're not outside. The leader is running 12.22.
We discovered a critical looseness in the shift arm assembly on pod number 1, which was what makes Duffy's pod so loud when he runs into everything. The racing body, in recognition of the fact that circumstances beyond his control kept him out of the race for 3-4 laps, have chosen to grant him 1 lap for his trouble, putting him at negative 19 laps, negative 18 laps. You have some catching up to do. Oh, here's the hot racing. Still rattling. So there's this really cool piece of software called Stimuli Presenter. I want to be clear. All of my actuators are made in Montreal, and so language is a little bit different. I'm not sure what they had in mind when they named this software, but it is called Stimuli Presenter. And what Stimuli Presenter does is allow you to speak to the four-corner actuators directly and simulate various things such as sinusoidal movement or rocking along a variety of axes or vibrations at different hertz levels. And you kind of use this to do 2 things. 1, make sure the damn thing works correctly, but 2, if your pod makes a weird noise under some circumstances, you try to recreate those circumstances using Stimuli Presenter, and then you can listen for where the problem is, and then you go fix it. We thought we fixed pod 1 just there, and we found some incredibly loose things. But now, Duffy's out there undoing all the tightening we did with his car. Give him hell. Give him hell indeed. Oh shit! What is... Why? This is not Traffic Simulator. If iRacing safety rules applied to this race, pretty sure they'd be canceling all your accounts. Okay, come on, Pete.
He couldn't see. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt here.
You know, maybe if you got out and cleaned off your windshield, this wouldn't be a problem, Pete.
I didn't bring my power glove.
What do you mean? It's a 15-minute race.
No, it's a 15-second race. It's almost over.
Ah, okay.
Boy, not being able to see the apex of a turn, I'd imagine that makes a difference. Heck of a drift, though. All right, Pete. That's it. That was it. It was a timed race, not a lap race. You did the... Jesus Christ. No, that's Alan. What are you doing? Sorry, it's reflex at this point. Why would you do that?
Okay, the race is over. Bring it on in.
So, who's got a results screen for me? Pod 2, you're my results screen. After whatever that is gets off the screen. What did you do? Alan, can you click on the results button?
Let's see, where is the results button?
It's going to be in the bottom left.
Bottom left,
Let's see what's our pace there. Pete by 13 laps,
Oh my.
followed by Oliver and Alan, both in hot contention for second there. And then Duffy, buddy, what the...
I got some work to do.
what happened there? Great race, everybody. Thank you. So that, if we go back to the script of what we were trying to do today in the Shakedown, would be referred to as the feature race. And from here, we would take a break. We'd send all the drivers back to the green room. They might open a beverage of their choice. It's not important to me while I'm sitting up here. And the host and the co-host would do whatever is on the next agenda item. We have done what we set out to do here tonight, which is prove out the tech for about an hour. We've got about 20 things that we need to reasonably work on before we do the next tech test broadcast. So at best 1 week, at worst 2 weeks. And we'll, of course, advertise in all the fun places for that. In the meantime, for those of you who came out, thank you for showing up to the Tonight We Race Technical Shakedown. We look forward to having lots of fun things for you in the very near future. And with that, we go to the outro slide.
Yeah, it's like they're always.
This is actually more fun on mic.
I believe it. So Pod 2 has developed a new rattle that we'll need to chase down.
Yep.
It got really loud right towards the end.
Do you know where?
No. The
Alright.
race ended before we could really get into it.
So go ahead and drop them all back to Windows, and let's fire up the testing program, and let's bring up the house lights, and let's see if we can troubleshoot a pod or two here while we've got hypothetical daylight.
What'd you get? Viewer count? How many people ended up jumping?
Maybe 3. We didn't advertise.
Yeah.
So success.
Yes, the mics are open. That's what makes it a good outro.
Was it a
Drew is that's my buddy.
Oh, fun.
Told him we were streaming. He actually lives right.
Is that stimuli presenter?
Stimuli presenter, yes. And on that note, good night.